to advance your career in health and management, Higher Ground College of Health and Management Sciences invites ambitious students to pursue excellence in dynamic learning environments. Why choose us? Our institution offers a transformative educational experience, combining education excellence and practical skills. We provide a cutting-edge curriculum with hands-on training, mentorship from industry professionals, networking opportunities for career growth, and leadership development for global impact. The programs offered include BSc, Medical Laboratory Science, Nursing Science, Environmental Health Science, Public Health, Community Health, and Health Economy. We also offer HND in Public Nursing. Our facilities: modern computer and medical labs, research centers and digital libraries, and interactive learning spaces and study zones. Who can apply? Aspiring professionals in health and management can apply. Working individuals seeking career advancement can also apply. International students looking for a global learning environment are also key applicants. Application requirements are 5 SSC credits, including English and Mathematics, German entrance exam scores, medical report, birth certificate, local government industry letter, recommendation letters. Why Higher Ground? We offer work-study programs, flexible payment, and a supportive academic environment. Apply today. Visit www.highergroundcollege.edu or our campuses at Lab opposite VCK Jalingo, Taraba State, and opposite Army Barracks, Tako, Taraba State. Take the first step towards a brighter future. Choose Higher Ground College. Are you ready to advance your career in health and management? Escape the everyday at DY Scott, a luxurious haven for your hair, nails, and overall well-being. Imagine yourself settling into a plush armchair, the aroma of essential oils and freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Expert stylists meticulously craft your perfect look, whether you're seeking a bold modern style or a classic timeless cut. Beyond the perfect haircut, indulge in a revitalizing manicure or pedicure. Our skilled technicians use only the finest ethically sourced products, ensuring a truly pampering experience for your skin and the planet. Enjoy a refreshing drink, a mojito, chamomile tea, or something bubbly while you unwind in our relaxing atmosphere. Looking to socialize? Challenge friends to a game of table tennis or snooker in our convivial relaxation area. Reconnect with yourself and leave feeling confident, truly pampered and beautifully you. DY Scott is more than just a salon. It's an experience that nourishes your mind, body, and soul. Find us at Roadblock Jalingo, Konaru, or call 081-4563-6195 to book your appointment today. DY Scott, where style meets serenity. Escape the everyday at DY Scott, a luxurious haven for your hair, nails, and overall well-being. Imagine yourself settling into a plush armchair, the aroma of essential oils and freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Expert stylists meticulously craft your perfect look, whether you're seeking a bold modern style or a classic timeless cut. Beyond the perfect haircut, indulge in a revitalizing manicure or pedicure. Our skilled technicians use only the finest ethically sourced products, ensuring a truly pampering experience for your skin and the planet. Enjoy a refreshing drink, a mojito, chamomile tea, or something bubbly while you unwind in our relaxing atmosphere. Looking to socialize? Challenge friends to a game of table tennis or snooker in our convivial relaxation area. Reconnect with yourself and leave feeling confident, truly pampered and beautifully you. DY Scott is more than just a salon. It's an experience that nourishes your mind, body, and soul. Find us at Roadblock Jalingo, Konaru, or call 081-4563-6195 to book your appointment today. DY Scott, where style meets serenity.
Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen? I go by the name of Diaso. Keep watching something. Don't skip. Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing?
Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
They should put this screen for us. Good morning and a blessed Easter Monday to you all. You're watching the Some TV morning show, where host wakes up early, joy brews strongs, and faith never hits the snooze button. Today the air smells a little sweeter, the smile stretch a little wider, and birds sound like they joined a choir, because he is risen. And as one ancient greeting goes, Christ is risen, and the joyful response, he is risen indeed. And as the great C.S. Lewis said, Easter is death walking backward. Now let me tell you a short story. There was once a stone, huge, heavy, final, rolled across a tomb, as if to say, this is the end. But on the fourth day, that stone became a comma, not a full stop. It rolled away, not just from a grave, but from the heart of millions. Because love, when buried, doesn't stay buried, it rises. So if you are feeling stuck, if life been tossing stones your way, remember Easter is the proof that the worst thing is never the last thing. On today's show, we got an uplifting lineup for you, from newspaper review to a powerful sit-down with a Catholic Reverend Father who will help us unpack how the message of the resurrection can inspire hope, leadership, and unity in our nation. So hold on to your faith and let's rise together, because it's a new day and our morning show has risen too. Good morning, Ms. Tyra Daniel.
Good morning, sir. How was the celebration?
Well, you can see it. He is risen, and I've also, my hopes, my dreams have risen.
Yeah, you said something that caught my attention. You said, love, when buried, doesn't stay buried.
It doesn't. It rises.
So there is a need for us to show love, show sacrifice. It's the celebration of sacrifice and love.
Good morning. And it's a wonderful Easter morning. And I know today we'll be in for some, in Nigeria, despite the Easter, the news still remains the same.
Yes.
With a little message of hope and love from here and there. But generally, the message remains Nigeria needs to rise from the issues that bothers it. So I'm going to start with the Vanguard. Let's look at the Vanguard this morning. The Vanguard newspaper this morning. Okay, now let's look at the stories on the cover page of The Guardian this morning. We have on the top left corner, 1999 ECOWAS protocol on cross-border grazing, origin of insecurity in Benue. That is Governor Alia speaking there, that 1999 ECOWAS protocol on cross-border grazing, origin of insecurity in Benue. Benue governor puts resident security agencies on red alert. In the 2027 presidency, no candidate can win without not. That is Baba Ahmed. That is for the on page 9. And also insecurity, Danjuma, Atiku, Kuka, Bakari, others rage. As you defend yourself against bandits, Danjuma tells Nigerians, Nigeria bleeding, please bring us down from this cross. Kuka tells Tinubu gallivanting across Europe as Nigeria bleeds. Atiku, we must rejig our security philosophy. Bakari, Tinubu must stop playing God. That's also Bakari. Retirees abandon pension plan over failed scheme. Annuity uptake crashes by 76%. Expert call for NDIC structure in insurance sector. Affected annulment laments. Okay, affected annuitants laments. Dati to Malami, CPC bloc will continue to support Tinubu's government. Then SEC to celebrity influencers, bloggers stop promoting Ponzi schemes. Then Naira for crude. FG plans fresh crude cargoes for Dangote refinery. That's a sweet one for me there. Yeah. As a death toll in Lagos building collapse rises to 515 rescued. Sad one, building collapsed in Lagos over the weekend. And sad that 5 have lost their life, but yes, 15 has been rescued. Flying Eagles begin CAF Under 20 AFCON title chase, that is for sport. But let's go to the major line. Danjuma, Atiku, Akuka rage. Akuka others rage. That is the major story on the Vanguard. And you have it, okay. Former Defense Minister, Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma retired. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, President of Catholic Bishops Conference of Nigeria, Reverend Lucius Ugoji, Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Cook has expressed angst against the present high level insecurity in the country. Similarly, the serving overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, Pastor Tunde Bakari, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, and Kebbi State Chapter of Christian Association of Nigeria can express same sentiment, pleading with President Bola Tinubu to save Nigerians from frequent killings by bandits, headmen, and insurgents. These reactions came against the background of militia attacks on communities in Plateau and Benue State, which has claimed no fewer than 200 lives in the last 2 weeks. I think, in fact, General Danjuma reiterated his earlier call on Nigerians to rise and defend themselves, warning that relying solely on government protection was no longer realistic. I spoke at a public event in Takun, Taraba State at the weekend. Danjuma said his warning from 5 years ago remains relevant amid growing wave of insecurity across the country. Let us start with General Danjuma, what he said in Takun just at the weekend. He made this call 5 years ago. There were a lot of discussions around it, some backlashes, he got applause from some, and he's reiterating this statement. Again, what's your take on what he said?
What he said is becoming truer and truer every day. Yeah. It's becoming a statement of fact. Even if what he said 5 years ago was condemned, it has now become a reality that what he said was actually the truth. We can't continue to depend on the state actors who are not actually helping to curb insecurity. Some experts have said that it is some kind of shortcomings. It shows some incapability. It shows some failure in the system where these things keep reoccurring, maybe intervals of just few days, 1 or 2 days. It happened here, then tomorrow, there, then it keeps happening, and people keep losing their lives. And the way this killing comes is so barbaric that you begin to wonder whether these things there is any government in that part of the country. People will just come at the middle of the night, kill children and women, men, shooting sporadically without any particular targets. You understand? Killing hundreds of people and going without one of them being killed. Because we don't see any report that said one of this person was killed, one of the bandits, one of them was captured and it was interrogated and he revealed this and that. So I don't know, maybe the aerial surveillance or the Air Force, the DSS, and other aspect like that. So with the call of General Danjuma, when he said that people should rise up to defend themselves, it's just a natural thing.
Definitely.
Everybody, you have the right to defend yourself. Not necessarily that what he's saying is something that is new, but he's just trying to remind Nigerians that you have the right to stand up and defend yourself. It's not as if he's calling for some illegality or for some crime or anything like that. But ordinarily, when you stay in your house and robbers attack you, what will you do? Fold your hands
and say you wait for the police comes?
You don't wait for the police to come before you fight back at a robber or any person that is threatening your life and your properties. So what he said was, right 5 years ago, it's
getting through
every day.
Every day. Then you have this one to say, on his part, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar criticized President Tinubu for remaining in Europe as insecurity engulfs the country elite. In a statement issued yesterday, Abubakar claimed that Tinubu does not care, citing cases of political leaders who cautioned their trip to attend urgent matters back home. He also went further to say the Tinubu administration has proven time and time to be utterly incapable, wholly incompetent, and completely devoid of any current ideas for tackling Nigeria's deep security crisis. To me, I agree with him on the point of the president not showing, does not care, because I don't see any reason with what happened in Plateau and Benue State, while he should be outside of the country. There's a need to show empathy. There's even need for the morale. There's something that has to do with. That is why people will say, why didn't you just a call across? We say you could have called me in my moment of sorrow, you should have come. That is why even in this part of the country, when things happen like that, people come around to visit, to show you that they care, and it has a way of suiting us. But we have a president that, while this is happening, is outside in Europe, and to me, I don't see, I think it's totally wrong. This happened during the time of, it was condemned by this present president and the former president when Chibok girls were kidnapped in Borno, in Chibok, and the president went for a rally in Kano. It was condemned seriously by these same actors. During Buhari's time, if this thing keep reoccurring, the president will not visit places where they have these issues. And Nigerians keep calling for it, whether you think it's right or not. As long as Nigerians put you there and they ask and they keep asking, you have to do. I'm very sure during campaign, he will have gone there. He will have gone there, went across. Did you stay in Europe to campaign during the elections? No, he was going from from cities to city. This is totally wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, as wrong as it is, I want us to look at it from the perspective where if the president had come to Plateau or to Benue to commiserate with those people that were killed, would that visit have forestalled the reoccurrence that happened some days after the chief of army staff came, the chief of defense came, General Christopher Musa was in Plateau, Inspector General of Police, other people, Nasir, what was it called, No Rivado, the NSA was in. But even after their visit, as high-powered as they are, as influential as they are, as close to the presidency as they are, they came and this thing occurred again. If the president would have come and it would have forestalled another attack, I would have said it will, I don't know, maybe...
Let me ask a question. Now that it didn't go, how would we know?
That is it.
He left, that window is open.
But we've
then two, you've called the chief of army staff, you've called this. We did not vote any of these people. We voted for. He didn't come with this mandate that this and the, we voted for him. The chief of army staff, or defense staff, or Ribadu did not come to ask for a vote.
But what I'm saying...
He is the president.
Is it possible that they came in proxy? The president was there in proxy.
I didn't vote anybody in proxy. I interpreted for president, not in proxy, but they themselves. And let me tell you something. Why is it that... this question is, when you lose loved ones and people come, will you bring back the loved one? No. It has a way that shows that you care. Now, sometimes you go there, it may not change anything, but for the simple fact that these people, it gives hope. And hope is very, very, once people become hopeless.
Yes, I agree with you that I'm not saying that what the president did is completely right. But all I'm trying to say is that let's look at the moves that will bring results. It is possible. I envisage that if the president had come, he would have done the normal visiting, gave the speech, the eloquent speech, and donated some funds, and that will be the end. And you'll be surprised if the NSA, because if the president had come, it will still be people like the NSA and the chief of defense staff that he will have used to fight.
Have you been in a city the president visited before? I lived in Lagos. If the president comes to Lagos, it's a nightmare. A lot of, if you know the kind of security, I'm telling you, if the president visits Plateau or Benue, the kind of security, how do I put it? The kind of deployments that will be there, the kind of, what do I call, reconnaissance that will be done. It's quite different from when the NSA or the Chief of Defense Staff. If the president visits Jalingo, I'm telling you, most of this road will be condoled off. You will see choppers everywhere. And who knows? While this, something may be discovered. And apart from that, that is what if and what not. But in reality, it gives the people hope. Why do they visit during campaign? Why don't you just send proxies to come and campaign on your behalf?
Going by what you have just said, if I'm not saying that your position is wrong or anything. I'm just making a plausible argument that I would have preferred that Nigerians should call for such kind of security architecture, such kind of deployment, even in the absence of the president. Helicopters should be deployed. The Air Force, the DSS should be unleashed in full force, as if the president is in Jos, as if the president is in Bokos. Do you understand? If that kind of deployment is made, the vigilante...
Do you think for morale, a soldier that's a soldier, we think for the morale, we see their commander-in-chief, CNC, the commander-in-chief, there's a battle on the land, and it's somewhere in Europe. Do you think for morale, do you think the soldier will feel this urge? We feel the same urge, like, yes, when the commander-in-chief come and give, there's a way pep talk works.
There are many instances where the president is known with them in Sambisa Forest and they're still doing their best.
And look at the whole.
If the president has to be wherever a security deployment will be made before they will be effective, there's something that's wrong.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you say the president, sometimes the president just need as a leader. Why do we need a president if the Chief of Defense Staff can work, this can work? We need a leader because we need someone, what do I call it? A arrowhead that make the trust. I'm telling you, if you're going through crisis in a community and the president comes, the pains the issues may not go, but it gives you hope.
I know.
It gives you hope that yes, these people care about us. If you see the despair, did you hear the cries of Plateau people? And their cries that nobody cares about them. Nobody cares about them.
It's quite something to...
It is not. To me, I don't think the president or his handlers or anybody, nobody on earth can convince me otherwise with what we're going through. If he does not come and things goes well, we will say plus to the president, he has done the right thing. But there's nothing to show for that. Let us move to another paper here. Let's go to, the Punch. I think I saw the Punch somewhere here. Okay. Now we have emergency on the top right, top left corner of the Punch. PDP governors gets Supreme Court hearing dates this week. That's on page 7 of the Punch. Then we have, presidency pushes back as Bakari Kuka criticized Tinubu's policies. That is on page 2. Then Kelen Shettima visit Plateau today as Danjuma calls for self-defense. That is on page 7. Then power crisis, federal government turns to bank for $23 billion lifeline. That is according to Adelabu on page 23. Then we have other stories here. State police off agenda as NEC meets Thursday. And we have judgment analysis. Report me to LPDC, Falana Dares, Wiki. And indebted retirees risk losing home, says federal government on page 7. Then we also have interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. Our banks profited from lending in 12 months amid economic pressure. The banks are always smiling to the bank. That is, no matter what's happened, they are cashing. We don't know. They should show us how they do these things. Because while other sectors are are not making profits. Let's just look at the 9 banks raked in a combined interest income of 14.26 trillion naira in 2024. An analysis of the detailed financial results of the financial institutions show as the bank made trillions of nairas from the interest on loans given to customers during the review period. Manufacturers counted their losses, groaning under the weight of soaring borrowing, totaling 1.3 trillion for the same period. An analysis of the audited financial results of First, Oldco, Guaranty Trust Holding Companies, Any Bank PLC, United Bank for Africa, FCMB Group, Fidelity Bank, Stanbic IBTC Holdings, Access Holdings, and Wema Bank filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited indicated that the interest income earned by 9 banks in 2024 financial year rose by 119.55% to 14.26 trillion compared to 6.49 trillion the previous year. That is just the story of our banks. This is interest made from loans.
You know, they're taking advantage of the financial crisis and myriads of other crises that Nigerians are facing. Normally, when you lack funds, you go to an institution that can give you some of these lifelines and you solve your problems and pay through the nose, if that is the case. But notwithstanding, I think what they're doing is a good thing for the nation. Imagine if they are not there. Imagine if these loan facilities are not available. Imagine the kind of problems Nigeria will go through. Because at times you will be pushed to the wall to the extent that you don't know what else to do. The only option you have is some of these facilities. And you can look at it from the perspective where some of these funds are not only for solving problems, so it may be for investment. People are invested, they get loans from
these loans are not. These loans are for investment. Nobody gives you loan for to go and eat bonia, eat plantain and chips.
At times there are some of these loans that you collect upfront, salary upfront, and all these things like that. You still charge you some small interest. But I think for this kind of amount that they're mentioning here, 14 trillion naira, it should be the kind of interest that come with billions of naira and hundreds of millions being collected for investments. And I think this reflects how our economy has developed to some extent. If these funds are just injected into infrastructure of private businesses and other things like that to create employment, as time goes on, we may begin to see the positive indices of this.
Yeah, definitely. It is good that at least there are loans out there, there are loan instruments out there that you can access and use to develop your business. The thing is that look at what, speaking at the recent Bankers Committee town hall, which the CBN organized in collaboration with the Bankers Committee in Lagos, the president of the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, Francis Meshioye, decried the high cost of funding for businesses. He said manufacturers spend about 1.3 trillion on interest rates, the cost of funds last year in 2024, and that is huge. It's next, its cost of energy, which is about 1.2 trillion naira. It's between 30 to 25% for the cost of funding and 30 to 40% for the cost of energy. You can see the cost of doing business is very, very high. And the manufacturers, they are pressed for funds. So they have to go to this bank to take at very high interest rate. But what if the banks are not there?
Ready to give you the high interest rate.
Yes.
So how will you do? I think somehow, though we must complain that the interests are high, but at least we have somewhere you can go to.
It's gone are the days whereby you wake up one morning and they tell you that your bank is gone. No, it doesn't exist any longer. I think now, with what we have, the banks are very stable. The only thing is that we just pray that they do more for us, the customers, than they are doing now. Let's go to the blueprint. The blueprint this morning. We have, let me see what we have on the blueprint. On the top right corner, we have Tinubu's appointment fair to all says Omokri. That is Reno Omokri there. Then SEC warns influencers, bloggers against some registered investment scheme. That is a good one because you go online, I see several content creators, bloggers doing adverts for different investment schemes, financial advisors, and the rest of them. I think they should be, SEC is letting them know. I think with the new SEC law, it's very stringent on Ponzi schemes and the rest of it.
There's a way you look at some of these things, and you look at it that it is actually credible, considering that this repeatable skit maker or recognized.
They even create content around it. They create their content, then they say, the reason why I could do this was because this and this.
Yeah. So if at the end of the day they end up as a Ponzi scheme, some of these are people that advertise for them.
Yes.
They should be quizzed. Yeah. Because before you interact with such people and even do advert for them, you must have known that, okay, this is what they're into and they're not into any kind of crime.
Yeah, the Nigerian Sonokayo breaks world chess record again. That is on page 12. Then we have NAS developing legal framework for state policing, as according to the Senate leader. The global investors thumbs up Nigeria's economic reform or the sustenance of inflows to handle external shocks. Then we have Ted Fund moves 10 billion mechanized farming. The major airline here says betrayers, politicians behind current security travails, that is CAN and ACF. Benue Plateau, Borno, other killings targeted at Tinubu second time, that is Ariwa think tank, then declare killer terrorists, Mark tells federal government. Let me just go through the story there. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Reverend John Joseph Ayab, has urged Nigerians, especially those in public office, not to betray the country like Judas Iscariot did to Jesus Christ. He went further to say betrayal has caused significant setbacks in Nigeria's development, with citizens betraying one another and the country at large. The CAN leader, in an Easter message in Kaduna, titled Overcoming Betrayers, Easter said Nigerians are betraying the country and the people are betraying one another. That is why we are seeing the challenges we see today. I think I agree with him. We are, in every sector you see, people, they are betraying the nation. You get entrusted with power, with responsibility, and you betray the trust of the people. Your security, you are get entrusted with ensuring the security of lives and properties. You betray the people. You live with people in a community, and you live in trust with them. Then you come in the middle of the night to wreak havoc on them. You've betrayed the trust and the love the people have shown you. So I think this issue of betrayal, just like Judas Iscariot kissed Jesus, who would have known that kiss was the kiss of death. And you know, if an enemy stands with a knife beside you, you know this is an enemy with a knife. But when someone kisses you, not knowing that kiss is a kiss that identifies you to be killed, is very, very dangerous. And that is what is happening in this country. The people you live with, these aggressors are people with them. The issues they deal with are issues that are local. Be it this banditry issue, the cattle clashes, the ritual killings, the kidnappings. These are done by people who we live with, who are betraying trust. So I agree with the Reverend Ayab.
Yes, John Hayat said the truth. We're fighting enemy within. These people are not actually fighting us from outside the shores of Nigeria. They are within. They are with us. They speak our language. They know our roads. They know our weaknesses. They have explored all the ways that they know how to attack us successfully without being traced. So we're fighting an enemy within. And just like you mentioned, it is all based on trust. If you don't trust them, you won't give them habitation in your communities. You won't know that these people will turn out in the night and wield weapons and begin to fight and kill and maim children and maim the communities like that. So John Hayat said the truth when he said it is the issue of betrayal. We are betrayed by the ones we love, the ones we love, the one who loved us, from within our communities. These bandits that went to Plateau couldn't have just descended from the sky. They didn't come in helicopters. They didn't come in parachutes. They were in somewhere around that place, and maybe they must have stayed in those places long enough to know the routes of escape, to know the tactics of defeating these people and killing them like that.
We also have in a similar message, the Ariwa Consultative Forum, ACF said it is not unaware that the 2025 Easter season is being celebrated amid continuing doubting existential, socio-economic, political, and most worrying, security and criminality challenges. In a statement issued Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary, Professor Tukur Mohamed Baba, the forum lamented the killings in Benue, Borno, the FCT, Katsina, Kaduna, Niger, Plateau, and Zamfara, among others. The Northern Social Cultural Group called on Christians to use the occasion of Easter to pray for peace, security, economic recovery, and for God's to grant leaders the wisdom, compassion, and patriotism to guide the country back to stability. We also have another group, the Arewa think tank, said it's supporting Nasarawa State governors Abdullahi Sule stance that the North will work for Tinubu's re-election. And on the recent killings in Plateau and Benue State, the Arewa think tank said political enemies of Nigeria are doing everything possible, including using foreigners to perpetrate the killings in order to frustrate the conduct of the 2027 general election. These accusations have been coming from all sides. This will say these ones they brought in this. This will say that. That is just, to me, this is what they say all the time.
If these assertions are made with facts, with statistics, with evidences to prove that what they are saying, then it's something. But I think these people are just hitting on the politics unnecessarily. We're politicizing. Politicians will politicize everything.
Yeah.
That the way you're drinking water is no good as a president. The way you smile is no good. Now they are politicizing these killings. Whatever it is, if they can proffer evidences that is saying that what they're saying, because some of these things are not just maybe the way they are. Let's tackle this thing. There is insecurity and people are being killed. It is not about 2027. Whether it is about 2027, let's see how we'll solve this problem. 2027 is still far away. What is the use of you thinking of 2027 when you're not sure you will be in 2027? So I don't think this is fair to Nigeria.
Like some years back, a certain Kawu Baraje was quoted to have made a statement that the bandits and this were people recruited by a certain party for election, and that was what. But he came out and he said he never said something like that. That was misquoted, or those words are words created by the person that made the
journalist
to date did not say anything. So, and that story
trended.
To date, people still refer to that. That is why I say we, even as media, we have to be careful what we, because he came out and said no, that they should bring out the sounds or whatever word that was used to capture what he said. And to date, I've not, to the best of my knowledge, but I know even this weekend, someone still referred
to what Kawu Baraje said.
To what Kawu Baraje said in quote years ago. So these things, these statements, I always prefer when you say there are people, they bring up your evidence, present it, and if it's not taken up, come out. We've seen people come out that they release some documents or this, they call this, but the typical Nigerian politicians, we just make statements.
Yeah.
You have the police, you have the DSS, you didn't report to them, but they want to report to the press without any evidence to back up what they are saying.
We need to work towards the development of this country. So many responsibilities lies on the shoulders of the press. So there is a need for the press to be cautious of what they're saying, so that at the end of the day, it doesn't cause problems for the ordinary man on the streets. If somebody as powerful as Kawu Baraje, who was a former PDP chairman, I think, Kawu Baraje was former PDP chairman. If you can be misquoted like this in the press, then...
So he claimed. So
long as they didn't provide... I was talking about evidence. If the journalist has some evidence, or maybe at the end of the day, there was some discussions behind the scene and he was silent, it's possible.
Now I'm trying to see something different from what we have in level. Okay, let us even, the Daily Trust, Bauchi Governor, Foreign Affairs Minister rivalry escalates. And that story over the weekend, do you have any background about that story?
I think what I heard was that the minister's son coming to refute an allegation that he slapped somebody like that. So it's about a power tussle between the sitting Bauchi State Governor and the sitting Foreign Affairs Minister, who is from Bauchi, and it has to do with maybe 2027, maybe Tuga is coming to contest, or I don't know, but what I saw on TV, I think yesterday, was that his son coming to refute that he has not met any attempts or harassed anybody in Bauchi.
So what the problem? What happened? It's a show of shame for if that actually happened. That a deputy governor will slap a minister in front of the VP, and I think it was at the palace of Bauchi State Deputy Governor Awa Jatau, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, engaged themselves in heated altercation that degenerated into fisticuffs on Friday. The development occurred in a bus conveying both political office holders to Bauchi City from Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa International Airport in Bauchi on Friday. The deputy governor waded into an initial altercation which started with his principal, Governor Bala Mohammed, and the minister. So Jata involvement escalated the altercation, forcing other people on board the vehicle to intervene to avoid escalation. And from there, I think it degenerated into World Wrestling Federation bouts. I think this would have been good. There's this sport in the north that they call Dambe. And anytime I watch that Dambe, the culture behind it, the way, the stories behind it, the atmosphere, I love it. I think maybe they should have just used them to promote Dambe as a sport.
In Nigeria, it's not a new thing. We have seen what happened at the National Assembly before, where 2 senators or more. We've seen some challenges like that at the House of Reps, Senate. So it's not new that it's just that it's new that the deputy governor and the
minister. This is a new one.
So we have seen people at the top government functionaries doing this kind of misbehavior. I think people should be more reasonable than that. People should be more civilized than that.
It's a show of shame. It's very, very shameful. Whatever the case is, it's a shameful thing for people of that stature, of that age, to be fighting in a bus. The last time I saw fight in a bus was in Lagos, conductor and one other irresponsible fellow.
And at the end of the day, you may see police arresting those people, arresting 2 fighters.
Definitely.
I think the police should
have arrested these two.
The deputy governor has some immunity, so I don't know. Maybe they should arrest the minister for having the infantry to fight.
It will be a good one. Talking about fighting, I think there's a new way. I love young Nigerians. They have this new way. This guy, Aziz Okikiola, a.k.a. Portable, also known as Portable Zazu.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, they had a fight, a boxing match between himself and a fellow they call was Speed Darlington.
Okay, I saw it on news.
And Abib Okikiola defeated Speed Darlington.
And the Speed
Darlington
has a broken hand or something.
He pulled a joint and he has to give up. And I think, it started just like a normal social media spat.
Is that not some crime? Is it something that the police should condone? They have some permissions from the police?
No, I think it's an entertainment. Most of this is entertainment.
And it leads to injury like that?
No, it's a arm socket that comes off. It's sports. It's a form of sport, and they will have. I think there's an arrangement for such things. This is not the first time he's having. He once had a boxing match with what's the name of this actor? He won that match. So for now,
anybody can just stand up and start organizing boxing tournaments. Don't you think this is tilted?
No, I believe there must be some permissions, some regulations behind. They are not the one. There are some bodies that arrange this, and I believe they must have done. If not, this is not the first. This is not the second. And I've seen such celebrity matches also happen in other parts of the world. So there must be some things that back up this kind of fights, and you can see it's quite hilarious. And I think maybe rather than fighting a boss, they should organize a boxing match.
It will have been interesting.
A very interesting one.
The Honorable Minister Tuga and His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Bauchi having a boxing tournament somewhere in Bauchi.
Well, I remember some years back, there was a very, very popular fight that happened in the House of Rep. And a member of the House of Rep with Babariga stood on a table and was screaming down at someone. As the first thing that came to mind, this man has never had a fight in his life. Do you know what they did? The person down used the Babangida to pull him down, wrap it around his head, and gave him a beating of his life. Say, you don't wear Babangida, then stand on the table.
He was not,
you know that he's not used to such. But the person was fighting with, I'm very sure, is someone that is experienced, just looked at him, used the Babangida to roll him around, pull him down, covered his face, and well, it's funny, but it's not funny. That is just what it is. Well, I think at this stage we've been able to add some, despite the sad stories and the rest. Well, there's hope, and we believe the young people in Nigeria, they live with what they see. You can see the way they're doing a lot of things to ensure that yes, they make something good out of their lives. And so we're calling on our political leaders. There's potential in Nigeria. They should come together and help us harness this potential, take away the insecurity. Plateau State Jos used to be a place where you dream of visiting. People come from around the world to visit Plateau. They go to places like Bokos and the rest of it to have a good time. But well, the insecurity has taken away that beauty of Jos.
You can't travel around without being scared that you will be kidnapped or you will be maimed or you will be killed. They have very beautiful scenery. The environment, the weather is nice like that, but insecurity has taken over. Let's just hope that the good old days will return.
Okay, thank you very much. We will now go. We've come to the end of this segment of the morning show. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, the morning show continues.
Escape the everyday at DY Scott, a luxurious haven